Hey, it's your boy Drew, and today I want to talk about when opportunity knocks, open the door. When I was a kid, I used to play the piano. And it wasn't because of something that I wanted to do, but my parents had me and all of my brothers and sisters playing the piano. And I hated it as a kid. I remember feeling like all the kids are outside and they're playing with their friends and I have to sit inside and play this piano for hours. I hated it. And so my parents got us this piano instructor. His name was Mr. Goodridge, and he would get us to do these recitals at Carnegie Hall. And I remember one instance in particular that was really interesting to me. I remember having to practice this really hard piece. I think it was called like Chinatown or something. And it was like one of those really difficult pieces. It was like left over right and stuff like that. I was doing all these crazy different things. And I remember thinking, man, this is insane. Like, why am I doing this? So one recital, one Saturday, right? We get all dressed up. It's like Saturday night. And we're wearing suits and we go to Carnegie Hall and it's like legit situation or concert looking thing. There's like thousands of people in the audience. I'm freaking 6 years old and I'm confused, wondering why the hell am I doing this? You know, like I don't want to do this. I don't want to play this piece. I don't want to do this right now. I want to be home watching TV or something, you know? But I was like, if I don't go out there and play in front of all of these strangers, my parents are gonna beat me. So I did it. I was like, screw it, we just play. We begged our parents to quit playing the piano, and so they let us quit. Years later, I was in chorus class and in high school, and the pianist for a chorus class, her name was Christine. She was I remember her being a really beautiful woman, like long blonde hair, like these beautiful blue eyes, gorgeous lady. And I don't remember why, but we were sitting down and we were just chatting and she was playing scales or something, and I may have been going up and down the scales or warming up or something. And she was like, you know, my dream is to play at Carnegie Hall. And I was just like, what? Like I was dumbstruck for a second. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And she explained to me why that was such a dream for her. She explained to me all of the history, all of the performers, all of the people that have gone through playing at Carnegie Hall. And she was like, that is my dream. I just want to do that. And I said, wow, I had no idea that playing at Carnegie Hall was such a privilege and such an amazing thing to do. Because something that many people only can dream of, desire. I just deigned to do it, you know? I told her, I was like, I played there many times when I was like 6, and I had no idea the privilege. What would have happened if I had kept playing? What would have been the case if we had kept playing the piano, playing at Carnegie Hall? I wonder about the opportunities I lost because of that, you know? Like I said, I was in chorus class, so I really enjoy singing. Back in 2005 was a very interesting year. That time period in my life was very interesting. I had a lot of interesting opportunities kind of knocked. Me and my friends, we went to audition for American Idol in Boston. And I remember the night before, we had to get tickets to go to the stadium to audition. And the night before, we get to go get tickets, and the person at the ticket counter gave me my ticket, and he was like, they're gonna pick you. And I remember thinking, well, that's really weird, really? Like, okay. I was just wearing like this white t-shirt. I shaved my head bald, and these army camouflage pants and like some sneakers. Nothing serious, no. I tried to audition the year before, and I sang a really impressive song. I thought I did a really good job, didn't get picked. So this time I went and I was like, I'm gonna sing something super easy. I don't even care. So my attitude was like, let's go. This is an amazing experience. This is super fun. I love this. This is great. So just, who cares? I'm like, it don't matter. So to kind of describe what the situation looks like, when you go to audition for American Idol, at least back then, you would go into these huge stadiums. There was like tens of thousands of people there, right? And so arena filled with people, good singers, bad singers, great singers, awful singers, all sorts of people singing, you know? And then in the center of the arena, like in the floor area, stage area, I guess you could say, they would have like 10 or 12 or 15 tables set up, and at these tables with tents over them, and essentially there would be like 4 or 5 or 6 different judges at each of these tables. So they would have like 50 people line up at table 1 through table 12, right? And then of that 50 people, you'd have like 5 people that would go and stand in front of each of the table and sing in succession. So I think I got to table 11 or table 12. It was one of those two. And I was in that group getting ready to sing, and I was like the last person to sing. And the song I had prepared to sing was Never Too Much by Luther Vandross, you know. I can't fool myself, I don't want nobody else to ever love me. Like super easy. I was like, you know, nothing easy, nothing hard. I wasn't gonna stress myself out. I was just gonna go in there, whatever vocal condition I was in, I was just gonna sing. That song didn't require anything, you know, to do. So I sing Never Too Much. I'm the last one. And the judges are like, can you sing something else? And I was like, those are like the magic words. That point I knew, wait a minute, we have something here. But I wasn't prepared to sing anything else. I just came in there ready to sing that song and not thinking anything of it. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. So I just kind of closed my eyes and I was like, okay, what am I gonna sing? What am I gonna sing? The first song that came to my mind was In the Still of the Night. So I just kind of closed my eyes. I disassociated, and then I was just like, okay. And I started singing. And I remember in the middle of me singing, and I heard a couple people in the line with me, they were just like, "Aw." And I knew I had connected. I knew something was good going on right there. And then the judges were like, we're gonna put you through, but make sure that when you get to the executive producers, you sing Stevie Wonder. And I was just like, holy shit. Okay. I was also really daring at that time. I was like 20. And I was like, I'm not singing Stevie Wonder. I'm gonna sing whatever I want. The executive producer audition was the next day. So I prepared to sing like a Ricky Martin song. I think Nobody Wants to Be Lonely, Ricky Martin and Christina Aguilera or something like that. So I went in there for the oh, and by the way, this audition was a lot different now. So this audition was like bells and whistles, cameras, interviews, the big to-do. I was just like, this is legit, you know what I mean? And so I get in front of the executive producers and I sing my song and they're like, can you sing something else? And I was like, oh shit, not prepared again. So then I think the second song I sang was like an Usher song or something. And then they were like, can you sing something else? And I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? But this is, in my opinion, very good. I can't remember the third song that I sang. And then they were like, we never do this, but can you sing the national anthem? So I sang the national anthem. And they were like, we're gonna put you through. But make sure when you get to Paula, Simon, and Randy, you sing Stevie Wonder. And I remember I got the ticket to go through and I burst through those doors and I like was so emotional because I couldn't believe this was happening for me. I remember thinking, I've always wanted to be a singer and here I am making something happen. This is so cool. And I remember telling them that. They asked me how I felt when I got out, and I remember saying something like, this is for my folks who I don't think really believe in me wanting to do this. And I was really emotional about it. That was 2005, and I remember shortly after that, Hurricane Katrina had hit New Orleans area and devastated the country and the nation. And because of that incident, the American Idol auditions got delayed for months. So I had to languish and wait for the next audition. But at least I got to study Stevie Wonder songs because I really wasn't a big fan of his back then. And I was very bratty. So I was like kind of against doing it. But I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna do it, because 2 rounds had asked me to sing a song by Stevie Wonder. So I finally picked I Just Called to Say I Love You by Stevie Wonder. I just called to say I love you. I picked that song. Fast forward to the audition day, essentially. I rented a hotel. I spent the night in Boston, drove up by myself. I didn't get any sleep. Traditionally, for this portion of the audition process, they break the groups up in two days because it can take a long time interviewing, all of the to-dos, the bells and whistles, the cameras, the drama, all of that. It takes a long time. But this day, since I guess because it had been so long, they decided they were just going to do it in one day. And I was like the second to last person to perform. So not only did I not get any sleep, but I languished in my anxiety for hours. And I would talk to my friend Michelle over the phone. She really helped me through this process, like with song choices and all of my anxiety and nerves. Like she really helped me kind of work through that. And also my friend Ida, who was also a singer, like she helped me through it too. And I had this like playlist that I would listen to that was very like John B centered at the time. I was really into John B at the moment. I don't know why. So fast forward to the moment that I get to my audition. So I walk up to the doors and I open the doors and I get to my ex and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for Paula, Simon, and Randy. And they say, hello, what's your name? Introduce yourself, tell me a little bit about yourself. What are you gonna sing for us? I said, I'm gonna sing I Just Called to Say I Love You by Stevie Wonder. And they were so excited to hear me. And I had no voice. I couldn't sing. I was devastated. And Simon was just like, not today, thank you. And I walked through those doors and I was just like, what an opportunity that I squandered. What could I have done differently? I could have taken a nap while I was waiting to audition, but I didn't. I thought that I needed to stay awake. I could have maybe taken some sleeping medication the night before to get some sleep, but I didn't. I shouldn't have probably been talking. There's a lot of things I could have done and I just squandered the opportunity, just being caught up in it, you know. Not too far after that, I started working at Bad Boy Entertainment, you know, P. Diddy, Sean Puffy Combs' company, in his executive office, under his executive assistant, Marcella. And it was an amazing job. Just imagine what it would be like to be an executive assistant to a celebrity. It's exactly what you think it would be. For example, I would go to a store. I would be like, hey, I'm here to pick up some scarves for Bad Boy, for Mr. Combs, Sean Diddy, P. Diddy Combs. And suddenly, every time you go to a place, the attitude they have towards you completely changes. They're like, oh, well, do you need some water? Would you like some coffee? Can I get you some tea? Would you like me to get your coat? Can I get the door for you? Here's my personal business card. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to contact me. Like the way that the world opened up for you when you would say the magic celebrity name that people knew was insane. And these people, I would say that I was so naive and I was not unscrupulous. So I would not take advantage of these things. I would just give that contact information to the office and keep it moving, you know? And I remember working in that office was an amazing, amazing experience. You know, like I remember one time, Mr. Combs is kind of tall and we kind of, I guess, look alike a little bit. So there was a moment where he was engaged to go to 2 different events, one here in New York, and he needed to go to an event in Russia. So they wanted him to attend both events. So what they were planning on doing was they were gonna have me imitate him in like a white mink coat, fly to Russia to impersonate Mr. Combs, but they weren't gonna know I was just gonna be him. So I remember that week I was practicing his signature, practicing his mannerisms and trying to talk like him and all of that stuff to go to Russia. It was really insane. It ended up not happening, but that was really crazy. Getting stuff and taking it into his penthouse and the view that he had from where he lived was amazing. It was an incredible experience. But one incident really stands out. And in a real Devil Wears Prada moment, I think I was up late with Marcella, his executive assistant, trying to get him a flight out of Miami or something because there was like a storm. It literally was like what you saw in the movie Devil Wears Prada. When Andrea was trying to get Miranda a flight out of Miami in the middle of a hurricane, she's like, can you call Donatella, we own all these people, get me home. You know, because her daughters were having a recital that she wanted to see. And it was literally that kind of moment. We stayed up for hours and we could not get him a flight. subsequently after that, my boss was fired, and me and my boss were really close. And so I took that really personally and really hard, and against the advice of my best friend, like Michelle, who was like, you should stay working, go in, because I was going into the office like every day from open to close. She was like, just keep going as normal. Just keep going as normal. And I didn't take that advice. Instead, I said, no, I think I want to go back to school. I think I want to figure some things out. So I quit. A few months later, P. Diddy released the show I Want to Work for Diddy. And when I got hired, there's a girl by the name of Genevieve or something was her name, Genevieve, something like that. We got hired at the same time. She was then his personal executive assistant. His executive assistants make a lot of money. And because I wanted to figure things out, I quit. What an opportunity that was lost. I am a certified assistant audio engineer. I went to the Institute of Audio Research here in New York City. And by the way, right now I'm in New York City, in my friend's apartment. So I used to work as an audio engineer at this studio in Long Island. An audio engineer essentially is a person that like mixes songs, or like when you go in to record, they can like engineer a session, like record you and take care of all the levels and stuff like that. So I worked at the studio in Long Island. And I would say that probably because I am the kind of person that, okay, so I played the piano when I was younger. I was really into, singing and stuff like that. I think the musical theory that I had, having to sight read and do stuff like that, playing the piano and all of those things helped me become really good at song arranging. Like every time a song comes on the radio, I'll immediately start remixing it. Oh, I could sing it this way, I could do this, I can add this here and do that. Oh, immediately. It's just something I've just gotten so good at. So I was at the studio one time, and this is like in 2005-ish. Nicki Minaj came into the studio. She used to frequent that studio a long time ago. As you know, she's from New York. Obviously, I didn't know who she was. She wasn't popular. She wasn't the Nicki Minaj we know of today, you know? And she came in and she played this song, and I was like, oh, I was really feeling it. I was like, you should do this here. Oh, you can do this here. We can add these oohs, and we can turn this level up and pan this way. And she was just like, yeah, she was like feeling my idea. She's like, we need to work. So she gave me her phone number. I was like, yes, let's work. And I remember she texted me like the next day, and I did not respond. Nicki Minaj. I wish that I could have this moment for life. My anaconda don't. My anaconda don't. Left arm baby mother tatted. Nicki Minaj. Arguably the biggest female rapper of all time. Didn't respond to the text. What's my point? When opportunity knocks, open the door. It can change your life. Smile even when you're not smiling. It's your boy Drew.